I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says...
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, Drew Forster. We're going to try and get you some winners on the Sunday, May the 15th card at Hastings Racecourses. We do have 8 races on tap. Our feature will see 8 $35,000 claimers, go 6.5 furlongs, optional claimers, shooting jacket. Hastings Racing Club horse is your morning line choice.
He looks to be tough in there. Yeah, good card they put together for Sunday. Should we jump right into it here?
Sneak into it. Let's go.
First one is a maiden $4,000 claiming event for older colts and geldings, going 6.5 furlongs. I landed on a 3-year-old here, the 2 Jamal. It seems to have some upside. A good race last year, 4.12.5, which was bottoms as he was a 2-year-old, but pressed the pace, got a little tired, ran third. I like the fact that he hasn't ran a whole lot. He does have one start into him, so it looks like he has some upside. Antonio Reyes going very well, as is Mark Cluche, batting 25% right now. I put Jamal on top of the 6 War On, who ran a good second behind Jackpot in his first start of the year. Only got beat a length and a half. He should be tough in here too. And I put Peyton's Command for Harold Barabee, who ran third in that same race as War On. I just think Jamal, the newcomer, should be tough in here, and I put the horse that just ran second and third in the last one. Nothing fancy there. I went 2, 6, and 5.
Yeah, I got the same 3 horses. I just don't want to take a short price on War On and Peyton's Command, who have both had multiple chances to win, and they don't have any speed. They rely on something to happen up front to even get second or third. So I can see what they can win, of course, but I agree with the 2 Jamal. I just think the horse can get the lead. It's a paceless race. At least the horse will have every opportunity to win. And I put the 6 War On and the 5 Peyton's Command. I went 2, 6, and 5. I agree with you, but just worry about taking short prices on horses that can't even show speed and dictate what's going to happen in the race. They still have to fall mercy to what goes on. All right, race number 2, $16,000 fillies and mares, conditional race, non-2, non-3 lifetime, going 6.5. I went to the 5 horse, or actually this is open 16 mares. The 5 Pretty Reckless, who looked brilliant in her comeback. Hats off to Mike Anderson for getting this, filly mare ready to go off the lengthy layoff. Obviously stole for 62.50 and won very easily. So this horse, I think, didn't hook a tough 16 at all. Wow, this race come up pretty light. You can hook Deer Lilies in races like this and other salty older mares, but they're not. This is a pretty soft 16, pretty Reckless by a mile for me. Put the 2 Closing Intentions in for second and the 3 SL Express. 5, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't know much to add. Pretty Reckless looks like
best bet of the day for me. Best bet of the day.
Yeah, she looks extremely tough in here. I put the 1 Finality's Charmer in the second spot. In a 25 with Sailing for the Sun, much tougher horses. That optional 25 she was in. Did run 5th beaten 10 that day, but comes back with a nice work in 1:04. I'm going to give her another shot. I put Finale's Charm in the second spot and Closing Intention. She's always right there. Patty Leany's going good. I put her in the 3rd spot. I went 5, 1, and 2, but I agree. Pretty Reckless looks pretty tough in here. 3rd race, maiden 8, 4 fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 2 here, Lady Cash of the Nancy Betts barn. Only got beat 2 lengths by Sakura and Valid Vow, who came back to win. That was for 16. Cuts her price in half. Looks like all systems go for number 2, Lady Cash. I put 1, the Rob Maven horse, Joe It All, in for second. A good second, first out behind Corporate last. Just got nipped at the wire. She's on the inside. She's got the speed. She should get away from him a little bit. I think Lady Cash runs her down, though. So I put her in second spot, and I put Sweet Home. Mel Snow's off to a very good start. This one ran in that same 16 as Lady Cash. She drops down to the $8,000 level. She should be pretty tough, too, with Amadeo Perez in the irons. 2, 1, and 6 for me.
Yeah. I have the same 3 horses. I agree with the 2 Lady Cash for the reasons you mentioned. Valid Vow, Sakura. That was a tough 16. And I put the 6 Sweet Home in for second. She was also exiting that race, finished behind Lady Cash. But I think those are your 2 horses. The 1 Joe It All, who I liked last time, just got guzzed on the wire by Corporate last. But still, this is a tougher assignment for her. With class dropping horses like Lady Cash and Sweet Home. So I went 2, 6, and 1 in Sunday's 3rd. On to race number 4. Maiden $16,000 older 3 and up, so you're going 6.5 furlongs, and I like taking the older horses in these races. Is Captain Jones the 4 the best horse in the race? I think at this stage of the season? I think he is. So I'm going to try him. I know he's had a lot of chances. He's running maiden special weight races. He's running against winners. He's running some dirty, tough spots.
Yeah.
He's worked well. Frank Barry's off to an excellent start. After Court won by a mile last weekend, and his horses are ready to run. I think Captain Jones is as well. Gets the hot Antonio Reyes as well. I'm going to go Captain Jones to defeat the 5-footman, who I really like. A horse that ran for maiden allowance first time out. Might not be the best 6 furlong horse. Might not even be the best 6.5 furlong horse, but still at this level, you must respect footman. And I put the 3-horse Mighty Mesa claim for 12.5. Moves to the Nancy Betts outfit, and this horse wasn't beaten all that far by Southern Casanova and Adams River Run, so give this horse a shot as well. That's a 3-year-old, but still, I went to Captain Jones. I'm going to try the older horse, 4.53.
I went with Groot in here out of the Steve Henson barn. I thought he made a fairly good account of himself in the first maiden special weight. That was won by Tornador. Good as they get, came back and won. Liquid Metal was in that race. He scratched. He looked very tough in that race. So he comes out of a very live maiden special weight, drops in for 16. A nice work since that race in 47-2. Scott Williams rides for Steve Henson. I did go with Groot on top of Captain Jones, the 4-year-old, the one you like in here. As you mentioned, he hooked all the toughest 3-year-olds around here last year as they all broke their maiden.
Sedin. You look at the horses. It's in command. The odds are good.
Yeah.
I mean, those are really good horses.
Yeah,
This horse was
he was running against tough horses. I put him in the second spot.
Those races are way better than what these horses have been running.
I do like the fact that Groot has a start, Captain Jones doesn't, so I put him in the second spot. And Mighty Mesa, I agree with you, for the 3rd spot. Claimed for 12.5 last time, 16. He should fit fairly well in here too. I went 2, 4, and 3 in the 4th. On to the 5th. $4,000 non-winners of the year for 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs. Big field.
11.
Of 11 in here. And the obvious threat in here is an old class horse in Stratify, 5-time winner, earned his well $100,000 while running in very tough races. I mean, the last time we saw him last year, he ran an optional 35 against Herbie D and Richter Red. The only question is, why is he in for 4,000? But if he's anything close to his old self, he's got to win this. So I put Stratify on top. Of the two, DJ Snow, I would like DJ Snow a lot if Stratify wasn't in here. He seems to be the best of the rest for me. John Snow's going good. Amadeo Perez rides. Just got a good second to After Court, as you mentioned. After Court ran a good race last time. DJ Snow in the second spot. And I put Matty the Bull, who comes out of that same race. Only got beat a length and a quarter by DJ Snow. And Scott Williams re-rides him for Steve Henson. In for 3rd, I went 5, 2, and 7.
Yeah, Stratify's your horse here. I mean, he's first or last. If he doesn't win,
Yeah,
he won't
exactly.
hit the board. I don't think you need to play him for 2nd or 3rd, but if Stratify is on his game, he will
Got to be tough here.
toy with these horses. I put DJ Snow in for 2nd and the 1, Halo's Quest, for 3rd. That's the only difference I have. Halo's Quest working well. Had a little bit of a brief campaign down in Portland this last winter, but he's a cool horse that runs a lot of good races. He hits the fringes a lot, and I like the inside draw. Good works, and Dennis Orojo, he's a nice little rider too. 5-2-1 for me in race number 5. On to the 6th race, $16,000. This is the non-2, non-3 allowance, or non-2, non-3 claimer for $16,000 fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 3, Race the Wind for Carl Lawston. I thought a pretty good effort behind Fire Beauty. It was a pretty fast time, 1:11 and change, and this horse just couldn't stay with that filly, but that's okay. She's not in here, so Race the Wind for me to defeat Blended, who ran on the same day, ran a second slower. But actually, if you look at them both, Blended ran faster than Race the Wind, but it's tough to compare race to race, but still, I think those are your 2 fillies, and I put the 5. Holly's Last Call, who did win for 4,000, probably wouldn't have been in for 4,000 if she was not able to be protected, and that's why Holly's Last Call won very easily in 1:11 and change. Wow, was she impressive. So I put her in for 3rd, but I can see her winning. This is not a race I fell in love with. Bullet's cool. Sakura was very impressive first time out, and Bridal Beauty's been tackling stakes company ever since she arrived here at Hastings, so she might appreciate the easier company too. So I think all 6 mares have a big chance in here, but I just went 3, 4, 5, but just a wide open event for me.
Yeah, this is a race you want to go deep in. I ended up on Holly's Last Call. I was very impressed. She come into that race with a 58 work. That's obviously very quick. And made no mistake, she could run for protected, so John ran her for 4 and absolutely destroyed a field, running a second faster than Blended and Sakura on the same day. 2 seconds faster almost than Sakura. I'm not big on times, but when it's the same day,
it matters.
You can kind of
give
judge
you
a
a
little
gauge
bit.
when they're coming out of different races. Yeah.
Exactly. So I went with Holly's Last Call on top of Blended. Another one, 6 seconds out of 17 lifetime starts. She's always right there. What is that? 11 of 17 in the money, so she's always right there. I put her in second. And I did put Bridal Beauty in the third spot for trainer Barb Heads. Obviously one that wants to go longer, but if a pace scenario develops, which it well could in here, she's going to come running, and Barb thought enough of her to run her in stakes twice last year. Now she's in for 16. Richard Hamill rides, so you got to respect those connections. I went 5, 4, and 6. Finally, after a few different changes here, I ended up 5, 4, 6.
I know it's that kind of race. I mean,
yeah.
we're leaving out Bullet, who's a nice filly. I mean,
Yeah, Sakura.
There's a lot of nice ones. Sakura was impressive winning. She's come back to work well too, and I know you left out Race to Win to mine, but it's a good race.
Yeah, you can make a case for all of them in here. I had a tough time with it, but I did end up 5, 4, 6 in the 6. On to the 7th, the feature race of the day, optional 35 for older horses. Very good field lined up in this 6.5 event. I landed on the 2 Shooting Jacket. He's had 2 very nice races in a row. Got a 79 and an 82 buyer. Running behind 2 very nice horses in Modern and Sabado Alegre.
Sabato Alegre.
Sabato Alegre, who was very impressive in his win in 16 and 4. It looks like there should be some speed in here with Richter Red. Crackdown's going to go to the lead. I just think, you know, Uncle Willard's going to be laying close. Adich's got some early gas. I think it's going to set up for Shooting Jacket. He's going to be a short price, but I did go with him on top of Adicha, who's a nice little horse. 4-year-old now. He's only ran 7 times in his life. He does have 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third for 6 of 7 lifetime in the money. The one time he was off the board, he ran 4th in Jim Coleman Province behind Cedarburg and Bluegrass Angus. Only got beat 3 lengths. He's an honest little guy who always shows up with a good effort. Scott Williams rides him for Anita Bolden, put him in the 2nd spot. And I put Uncle Willard in the 3rd spot at a big price last time, 17 to 1. Nobody saw him catching Richter Red, and he did. Craig McPherson off to a very good start, as is Antonio Reyes, so I didn't want to leave him off the ticket. I put him in 3rd. I went 2, 7, and 6.
Yeah, I agree with your top 2. I flip-flopped them. I went to the 7 Adicha on top just because of the pace scenario. Shooting Jacket does come from off the pace, and he may just loop the field and win anyway because he's a better horse. But I'm going to try Adicha, who should get a gravy trip setting off the 1 Crackdown. The 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 do not have speed.
Yeah.
Adicha is going to lay 2nd. I don't think the other Anita Bolton horse, Richter Red, is going to bother Adicha. So I just think this horse is going to get a perfect trip.
Yeah.
And he's a good sprinter.
Yeah.
And his last couple of losses were going long, which he was kind of a question mark to do. He couldn't quite get the distance, so I didn't run the Derby. But I mean, he's a nice 6.5 furlong horse. So he's worked well, excellent final prep in 46 flat. I'm going to try Adicha to defeat Shooting Jacket and put the 4-horse Slicer Red, who was he was a little not flat. Didn't get the best of trips from the inside. The rail was the worst draw for Slicer Red. He's a horse that needs to be 4 wide the whole race. That's when his best races are, is when he's 3 or 4 wide on the outside. That's all he won, I believe, second time out last year before the layoff. He was 3 and 4 wide the whole race. He doesn't like being bottled up on the inside, so it wasn't a comfortable trip for him in that tougher allowance race. This is an easier spot. I'll give him a shot for 3rd over Uncle Willard. I went 7-2-4. On to the 8th and final. Got to field the 6. Fillies and Mares here, 62.50 claimers, going 6.5. I landed on the very speedy number 6. I dig that. Nice win for $4,000 off the bench, and I know the opening quarter was very slow in 23 and 3, and this filly mare should have won, but I see that happening again. I just don't see anyone going with. I dig that. She'd only had 2 5/8s going into the race, which may have made her look just okay in that race. She's come back with a great half-mile move. I guarantee you she's a little tighter. And Roddy Thera's off to a great start. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
And get nice win with Jazzed, and as well as I dig that, and off to a flying start. So I put her in the top spot, put the 3 Zanita Rose, who finished in behind. I can dig that. I think she's still pretty live in here. I put Chic Bird in for 3rd. 6-3-1 for me. Flare Miss, Catalia, and Miserable Blue are all eligible as well. But I just think tactically, the 6 gets the lead, gets clear. Going to be tough to outrun. If the track's playing for speed, 6 is a solid pick in here. I went 6-3-1.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I dig that. Looks to be the boss in here. She's going to get the lead. She's going to be the controlling pace. Richard Hamill's on fire. I dig that on top. I went with Flare Miss in the 2nd. I went with the 2 horses that come out of the Pretty Reckless race, because Pretty Reckless was in
she's a $16,000 mare. That's a tough mare to run into.
Yeah, and Flare Miss, her stablemate, ran a good 2nd behind her, only getting beat 4.5, so I put her in the 2nd spot. And the other one, Miserable Blue, only got beat 4 3/4 in that race. by Pretty Reckless, who ran off and hit on him. So I put her in the third spot with Scott Williams aboard. I went 6, 4, and 5 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're up
Back
first.
in race number 1, I went to the 2, Jamal over the 6, War On, and the 5, Peyton's Command. Race number 2, I went to the 5, Pretty Reckless. 5, 2, 3 for me in the second. I really like Pretty Reckless. I think it's probably the best bet of the day for me. Third race, I went to the 2, Lady Cash, 2, 6, and 1. Race number 4, I went to the 4, Captain Jones over the 5, Footman, and the 3, Mighty Mesa. Race number 5, starting off the late pick 4, I went to the 5, Stratify, 5, 2, 1. In the 5th, on race number 6, number 3, Race to Win, Tough Dash, though this is a tough race. I went 3, 4, 5 in the 6th, but a very wide open event. Race number 7, I went to the 7, Aditya over the 2, Shooting Jacket, and the 4, Slice of Red. And in the 8th and final, I like the 6. I dig that, 6, 3, 1.
And next are my picks. There we go. In the first, I went with number 2, Jamal over the 6 and the 5. In the second, number 5, Pretty Reckless over the 1 and the 2. In the third, number 2, Lady Cash over the 1 and the 6. In the fourth, I went to number 2 again, Groot over the 4 and the 3. In the fifth, number 5, the very tough Stratify over the 2 and the 7. In the sixth, I went to the 5, Holly's Last Call over the 4 and the 6. In the seventh, the feature, I went to the 2, Shooting Jacket over the 7, Aditya, and the 6, Uncle Willard. And the nightcap, I agree with Mike on number 6. I dig that over the 4 and the 5.
All right, that concludes this edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Hopefully giving you a little insight. Don't forget, next Saturday, big day.
Preakness Day. Mario going for, actually, Mario undefeated in Triple Crown races. He won.
He don't lose, does he?
He does not lose in Triple Crown races.
Not
he
last
won
few
the
years,
Derby and the Preakness aboard. I'll have another, and now he's come back to win the Derby on Nyquist. Everybody here,
He's a money rider, isn't he?
He sure is.
Shows up for the big ones.
He does.
That's the $1 million
Everybody
ones.
here definitely cheering for Mario Gutierrez. That goes next Saturday on the 21st.
The 21st. If you can't make it out to the track, please do come here to the Derby Bar and Grill. There'll be lots going on here. Lots of great food specials, drink specials. Lots.
Very exciting.
It's going to be
day,
a festive atmosphere again. It was great on Derby Day here, and looking forward to another Mario Gutierrez run, which will be a lot of fun. You can see him get all the PR, we kind of piggybacking off all of the press releases and all the interviews with Mario, and he always, of course, never forgets his roots of Hastings Racecourse in Glen, of course, and loves it here.
Absolutely. He's our spokesman for Hastings.
He's our guy. But anyway, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.